Let's move to cycling now. We're joined live in studio by Team Benitez rider Luthando Kaka, and he was named as one of the top 100 most influential sports people by the Department of Sport and Recreation. Morning, welcome to the show.
Morning, thanks for having me.
Congrats on the award, but let's start from the beginning. How did you actually become a cyclist?
Being from Khayelitsha, I started while I was in high school. I met Amos Kubo, and through Amos Kubo I joined the Life Cycling Academy, which is now Velokhaya. So from there, the guys actually helped me in terms of acquiring the equipment, which I couldn't afford at the time. And they basically nurtured me and taught me the ins and outs, and just basically following my dreams. So it's actually been a long way from there till joining Team Bonita cycling team ran by Malcolm Lange from Lange Sports. And before that, I was actually in Denmark, where I rode for Gludenmastran cycling team for 2 years. And that was also through the work of Velokhaya and Life Cycling Academy in Khayelitsha. So it's basically been a long 8 years.
So why not the usual sports of football, rugby, or even cricket?
Well, I could say that I've always loved bicycles, and I mean, ever since having my first BMX bike, I decided, well, if there's a sport that I can actually pursue, it would be that. And having not known that you could actually take up cycling as a sport, through Velokhaya, I actually got to know that you can actually take it as a sport and as a career. So once I got that information, I basically put my mind into it and told myself that I'm going to pursue this. And it's been parallel with my studies as well. So, but to concentrate on my cycling currently, and I'm grateful for that opportunity to Team Benitez.
All right, then you're obviously involved in a lot of charity work. Can you give us more information on that?
Yes, since coming from, as I said, from Velokhaya, they've asked me to be on their board, having acquired a lot of knowledge around cycling, and went through the structures that they actually provide for their kids back in Khayelitsha and across South Africa. I decided to go into that, and I actually give time into actually helping other kids get into the sport and choosing a better career for themselves, and if not make them champions on the bike, make them champion people. So that's basically what we encourage, and that's what we give our time into.
You did allude to the fact that you spent or had a stint in Europe. How much different is that from the South African scene, though?
It's different in many ways. I mean, the cycling there is much harder than cycling. They've got bigger races, and cycling goes hand in hand with sports. What's this, soccer and your usual mainstream sports. So it's much bigger than as you would compare it here in South Africa, and it's part of their culture. It's part of their culture and heritage, so which makes it that much bigger and that much more competitive.
Okay, your plans and ambitions for the future, would you like to race overseas, go back to Europe?
Yes, with the current program that Team Benitez is offering, which is basing us in Europe for a full month, because now we just, about a month ago, we just came back from being in Portugal and Spain, and it was actually a good thing for us because it actually got us to race at another level, and it was actually a huge opportunity for the guys in the team. So now we'll be actually going back to Portugal and Spain in the next month. And we'll spend a month there. So I'm looking forward to using that opportunity towards actually making the next move into European riding once more.
All right. Doping is obviously a big issue in cycling, and it seems as if Lance might be in trouble again. Your take on that?
The guys have always been after Lance. They've always been accusing him of doping since way back, since I think, since for a long time. But he's never tested positive. And if he has done anything wrong in the past, we are yet to find out. So we'll just actually let the law run its course, and then we'll know afterwards if he's clean or he did something. But you know the saying, innocent until proven guilty. So I think at the moment he's still innocent.
So we'll still presume that he is innocent. In terms of for township kids out there, is cycling an expensive sport to get into in terms of equipment, helmets, obviously bikes?
Yes.
Is it expensive?
It's very, very, very expensive. I mean, for our bikes, we are very fortunate that we're sponsored by ASG, which actually offers top of the range bikes, and we ride Pinarello Dogmas. But for the kids in the township, you're looking at entry-level bicycles for like 6,000, and the helmets and stuff like that, and you could actually to the regions of 30,000 upwards. So that's why with our organization back in Khayelitsha Life Cycling Academy, we actually help those kids who can't actually afford the sport but are talented and want to actually pursue a career or being part of the sport. So it's actually just programs like that do actually help out the kids to actually get into the sport, because not everyone can actually afford 30,000 for one kid a year. So it's very expensive, but at least with such programs we'll actually get more numbers into the sport and have it as a sport for everyone.
All right, well, thanks a lot for your input. That was, of course, Luthando Kaka, who's a professional bike rider for Team Benitez. And remember, the Justice Factor is up next, but in the meantime, you can send us your